Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having an awesome day today. I got Matt from Rejig. You can go and find out what that is on Google or just watch us right now, which will be really fun. The idea behind social media isn't really to just post and then forget about it and then hope something happens. It's to be intentional and to get business from this long-term, and sometimes, if you're lucky, short-term too. The key to it, though, is showing up consistently and showing up with value. And I think that's where Matt's company helps us show up consistently with value. Why? Because they're using AI at an extremely high level in two forms. One, to give us information to a local area, or even to use our own information and put it out there in a routine way. And the next piece to this is taking your likeness, like with Hey Jen, I'm sure you've heard of that, and your voice, and then replicating it, and then having you show up routinely and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Matt, quickly tell us, did I screw that up or did I hit it on point?
You're a professional. You didn't mess any of that up.
Right, did I miss anything? Anything new to Rejig?
So I think what's new here is trying to tie everything that goes into creating a high quality social media presence into one place. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, which is we're very focused on the social and digital marketing side of things. So it's really just, how do we make it easy for agents here to leverage, their voice, their image, their local knowledge, their industry knowledge, all in one place, but have the AI doing most of the work for them. So no, there's nothing that you missed there. I think what you and I will talk about is, how do we take all of these things and translate them into, meaningful business over time, which is the goal here today.
Yeah, I like that. And before you start showing me cool stuff, I think watching you guys grow just over, less than a year, for me at least.
Yeah,
it's been pretty cool. I think a challenge that you've tackled well, and for those of you listening in, our goal as a real estate agent in the world that we're in, and we're heading into more because of AI and how it's working with social media, is to be as niched down as possible into an area so that we become the voice that people listen to, because we're showing up so much talking about that specific thing or that specific area. And then we can relate this big idea of real estate into a narrow area where people then be like, oh, Matt, thanks for telling me about the north side of San Francisco. I didn't even know that, right? That's what we want to eventually get to. It doesn't mean we don't pepper in other things that matter, but most of the time we're showing up in a niched way that allows us to break through the noise, because, everybody's on social media, but not everybody's posting in a way that breaks through the noise. So where do you want to start with that? Because I think if we transition consistency, I'd like to see transitioning consistency value into business. Like, bottom line, I want more transactions.
Yeah, 100%. And I think and you've seen me share this, but I think there's that kind of old, for those of us that do these types of presentations or speak to people, like, if you are not tired of saying it, people probably haven't heard it. And so I'm going to show a chart that I show on basically every one of these as it pertains to social media, because I think it's super important. So let me just share my screen here and I'll show you something, which is really like, let me do this. Can you see my screen here, Tristan?
I got you.
Beautiful. All right. So what we're trying to do, and I've got this slide up, which I think kind of builds on what you were saying a second ago, which is, and I think a lot of agents on this call probably heard this, which is, social media is a great way to drive high quality leads, like we were just talking about. But I think to do that, underneath that, like, if you're going to drive high quality leads from social media, people need to trust you. and they need to trust that you are the authority on the topics, that you are trustworthy as a person who is going to help them navigate an incredibly stressful transaction. And what I am showing on the screen right now is that authoritativeness, that trustworthiness, which you can demonstrate through social media, which is what we are going to spend the rest of this meeting talking about, is super, super important in terms of also helping you show up online as the expert, which is why people will reach out to do business with you. And so what you were just talking about too, with this kind of really niched down focus, what we're looking at here, these are what Google, this is specifically what Google says is important to them from an algorithm standpoint, which is Google, in what people are posting on social media, it's looking at what your agents are posting on social media. In there, it's looking for signals of expertise. It's looking for signals of authoritativeness. It's looking for signals of trustworthiness.
Yeah.
What's an example of a signal of trustworthiness? Somebody posting one of their testimonials. You know, what's a signal of an agent's authoritativeness? To your point, it's posting about, you know, the new business that's opening up down the street from where the agent operates. What's a signal of experience? You know, it's the agent talking about market trends in a particular area that they focus on. Does that all make sense to you, Tristan? Do you have anything that you would add to that?
No, I think when we take a look at this is that I need agents to start thinking about this more along the lines of building trust over a long period of time, like what you do when you're farming, in real estate, door knocking, right? Or when you're doing open houses, or when you're in mailing out, or when you're starting in a new area. It takes time for you to build, but the familiarity of showing up consistently, delivering the same message, people are like, oh, Matt, yeah, I saw Matt last year. And then it slowly starts building out, right? And I don't know that a lot of people, when they pick up a tool like Rejig, have that mentality, like, got it, this is a long-term play, I'm going to get lucky, probably like 2 months in, 3 months in, like Matt, right? I always bring up Matt. From what is it, Massachusetts, Andover. Matt Whitty, and he has like thousands of views on a few of his videos. People are connecting, but it usually takes a longer time because that then needs to translate to business, right? And I think people miss that. This is just one arm to all the other things you're adding, and it's a necessity now.
Yeah, so I would say now let's transition. So just as a kind of quick recap for the first kind of like the short preamble here, how do we drive business from, or how do agents drive business from their social media? And I think this is like what everybody is looking for now, which is, okay, we talked about the theory. How do we do this in practice? My argument for everybody on this call today is that what social media can help you do is demonstrate your expertise and show that you're a good, trusted partner for the people that you want to do business with, and also stay top of mind. And so what I am going to do now is I'm going to transition into showing people the desktop version of Rejig. You can also manipulate everything that I'm about to show you on your phone or in your email, but let's just show some specific examples. So, oh, thank you, Andrea. I see you. Andrea in Houston is an awesome partner of ours, and I just saw that name pop up, which always makes me happy to see people on this call.
What's up, Andrea?
I know. All right, Tristan, can you see my screen again?
I see it. The first ever pop-up bagels location in Chicago. I love it.
You got it. So what are we looking at here, just to kind of orient us really quickly? So we are looking at a piece of hyper-local content that the AI created for an agent by the name of Brenda, who operates in the Chicago area. And I think here, just to tie it back to what we've been talking about, this kind of like consistently posting content that is either showcasing kind of why you're a great agent, or that you're the expert in the local area that you operate in. This is a story that the AI went out and found automatically for this agent In this case, the AI found that story on this site, which is called Time Out Chicago. You can see it's a pretty detailed story that goes into a lot of examples about why this is a subject that is near and dear to people's hearts. And so whether this story resonates with an agent or not, I think the point that we're trying to land here is the agent, in this case, did not need to spend any time finding this because Rejig is finding it for them. Essentially what Rejig is going to do is it's going to go and find all of the local content that's happening for an agent. It's going to create posts for them. When you see this post created, in this case, it's got the agent's brokerage branding in here, but this can be branded in whatever look and feel you want. I suggest people on this call go check out Andrea's stuff because she has an amazing color scheme, so you can see different examples of this. But essentially, like the AI went out and found this story. It's linking off to the source material, so it's giving attribution back. It's providing a detailed summary for the agent. It's going to add hashtags for them. The only thing that they need to do is decide, does this get published immediately or scheduled to be shared later? When they choose to share it, the AI is going to be connected to their Instagram, their Facebook, their Google Business, their LinkedIn. And then the agent can also take this story and have it turned into a video that could be narrated in the AI, in the agent's own voice or in the agent's AI avatar. Now, what I want to do for a moment is just pause. The point here is, you kind of mentioned it a moment ago, like people aren't just going to show up and ask you to, help them buy or sell a home because you posted a story about like a pop-up bagel shop in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I think the point here is we're trying to help the agent show up. First of all, we're trying to help the agent show up consistently in people's feeds on all of the various social media platforms, because part of the job here is just to stay top of mind. You know this better than me, Tristan, but in this area where Brenda operates in Chicago, I think in the greater Chicago area, there's something like 45,000 real estate agents. So like part of the job is just staying top of mind. The other part of the job is demonstrating that you are the local expert. And I think that is maybe what has really changed these days and is driving meaningful conversations on social media, is your ability to show up as the local expert. I would be curious if you have anything to add to that, Tristan, because you are somebody who does this exceptionally well.
Yeah, there's a layer to this that you guys do really well. So you've heard what I'm about to tell you, all of you here, Leon, Andrea, everybody else. You've heard that attention is the new currency in the world that we're in. And I'm going to challenge you to think deeper than that. I want to go to first principles, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato. And I don't know that that's the true answer. I think attention matters, but if you peel the layer of attention, you think of emotions. Like, what core emotions am I thinking right now when I'm looking at this picture? The first ever pop-up bagels location in Chicago is opening this month. There's a lot there. Like, think about what Rejig is doing. Rejig is layering in emotion with all of these different posts, and it's making you feel an affinity too, living there. And it's giving you information that you can then share, because status matters. Like, if I decide to share this because it's important to me, now if I share it because it hit something in me emotionally, if I share it, I'm going to look like I'm spreading news that's important to other people that follow me. And so if I take on this layer of being the digital mayor of my area, that means it's my responsibility to show you what's new, what's important, what's happening. I create a status for myself that underneath all of this, nobody really talks about, right? Status is important.
Yeah.
And the other piece to this is when I'm looking at this, dude, how is it making me feel like this is happening? Like, it excites me. It brings joy to me, right? And this is what's not spoken. It's like, why do certain things work and not work? Well, it's easy. What emotion are you hitting on?
Yeah.
The harder you hit on that emotion, the better it works.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like just to kind of, because I know there are agents who are watching this right now who do this quite well. I've probably not quite in your realm, Tristan, but I've probably personally spoken to more than 1,000 agents individually over the last 12 months personally. And I know there are agents who do this well, but like this topic right here, like I live in San Francisco, big food town. You're in LA, big food town.
Mhm.
Chicago, big food town. New
Dude,
York, big food town. Like people care about their
a
bagels,
lot.
like a lot. Like there are like this is a hot topic, and I'm like really not trying to over pivot on bagels here. I'm really just trying to demonstrate that what an agent could do with this story is like, hey, I have an opinion on this. So not only can they post the story, they can then go into Rejig. They could come in here and they could upload like a short video of them on this topic. AI, like their Rejig account is going to add a little agent branding to it. It's going to add their captions. It's going to add a little outro for them. And they can just scan a QR code or just scan this QR code from their phone and it will upload a video. But my point is like, this gives agents the ability to then automatically turn it into a conversation starter, which is the goal. Like, and also give agents the ability to kind of provide their own commentary on this. And I think like this is ultimately what is going to drive meaningful relationships over time. And those meaningful relationships over time is what's going to drive transactions from social media.
That's
from
it.
my perspective.
100%. I've done this for years. You build trust. They're showing up by giving information that's important to the people that you're trying to reach.
Yep.
What you're trying to reach, you're trying to reach a community here. You're trying to connect with them through the things that they love, and it's important to them. And that's how you create trust. It's not things that are important to you. Just listed, just sold, check out my new open house. That's all great stuff that you can pepper in between. But what the hell do the people living in a community care about that if they're only moving or selling now in my area, every 17 years?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that I saw that too, which is crazy. I think in San Francisco, it's like 19 years. Like
Dude,
people are, it's 19 years. I don't think that's good, by the way.
I don't think so either. But think about that and using it for this.
Yeah.
Does any of this crap that we fill in daily in our social, does any of that matter unless you're actually on the market to sell or buy?
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't. Everything else about living there in your home, in your community, what news is affecting you locally, all of that matters. That's how you create trust. So when I see something like this, it matters to me.
Yeah, and this is the reason I kind of jumped, like we were talking about the hyper local component, but remember what's going to drive transactions from social media from our perspective is a combination of like deep local knowledge, which you can either upload your own content or you can have the AI finding, and we'll take a look at it here in a second. You can have the AI finding all kinds of content, whether it's hyper local events or any interest that you have in terms of like niches or things like that. Like the AI can help you create that. But then also you're trying to scale and demonstrate your trustworthiness. So what we're looking at here is in this case, we have this account connected to the agent's Google business page. We can also connect to Rate My Agent or Zillow, Yelp. And so that when she gets a testimonial, the AI is automatically, like she didn't have to do anything here. Like basically, like I'll just kind of jump ahead to get under the hood here, but like the AI is connected to Yelp or Google My Business or Testimonial Tree or Rate My Agent or Zillow. And then it's automatically, once that agent does the hard work, now the agent has to do the hard work, which is actually getting the testimonial. But like once he or she gets that testimonial, it's automatically pulled in. It's going to be turned into a post like this. There's going to be a bunch of different options for the agent to choose from if they want to kind of change the look and feel of any of these things, because having spoken to lots and lots of agents, you tend to want a little variability in the kind of look and feel. So just know that for anything that's created for you, you'll have the ability to kind of have some control over the kind of ultimate look and feel of all this stuff. But one of the things that I try and tell agents a lot, and I suspect you probably preach something similar, Tristan, is just like done is better than perfect. and don't
Yes.
overthink these things. And so like, that's the kind of underpinning of all of what we're trying to do for agents is take these things. And remember, if we tie it back to that kind of chart that we were looking at the beginning from Google, which is what are signals of authoritativeness? What are signals of trustworthiness? What are signals of expertise? Like all of those things are stuff that Rejig is trying to do for agents automatically, so that it just gets pulled in and turned into content that they can leverage to start meaningful conversations on social media. Any thoughts on that part, Tristan? I know you preach a lot of this stuff as well.
A couple of things. I want to see the look and feel of this, because that's one of the things that impresses me most about it.
Yep.
Because I've seen other ones that don't look and feel as nice as yours. Yep. Yours feels like I just stepped into luxury, and you went all the way to the top with this. And that makes it easier for me to cover everyone else, like first-time home buyers, move-up sellers, move down, anything, all across. So show me what this looks like on an account that has different things so people can take a look.
So you want to see a live account?
Yeah, or a demo account that shows me all the different forms of posts.
Oh yeah, so let's do a couple of examples here. So
Andrea agrees with me too. Every post looks like exactly, Andrea. That's what stands out the most.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna stick in this demo account and let's kind of poke around in here and see what we find. So, I think this is an example, and again, like
that's pretty.
Now this is a story. Again, I think to your point, same idea, hyper local, like, and a lot of these stories are making me freaking hungry, and it's only 10:53 in the morning here. Now I want bagels and chocolate. I think the point here is, again, like, what the AI is doing is, like, the AI in this case went out and found this story on a local business journal, so the Chicago Business Journal. And you can see it's got this image of this really beautiful looking storefront. But notice that the image here is kind of like landscape oriented. And so not to like geek out too much here, but like what the AI is doing is, because it realized that's kind of like a landscape oriented image. And as we all know, social media is, and we're all on our phones. So a lot of like are you still able to see my screen, by the way?
Yep. I got you. I see Winnetka gets hotel chocolate stores, British brands.
Perfect. I just got a little notification saying my screen sharing wasn't working. So basically what the AI did is it took this image, and in this case, it used a template that is kind of masking the fact that the background image is landscape oriented, because it's just trying to make this look as visually appealing as possible. Now, let's say, for example, we wanted to make this a little bit more so that it's trying to pull in the full image. I don't know how this is going to go. I like doing this kind of, let's YOLO it and just do a live demo and see what happens. Yeah. So I'm going to change the look and feel of this one. We're going to have this gallery of templates to choose from. And for everybody who's watching, who's not a customer, like, this is part of the process at the beginning. We'll do a design, basically a design process with you to help create these templates. I am going to choose one that has a slightly more landscape oriented. There you go. So now you can see that it's got, it's done a better job of pulling in the whole image. You can make any edits to any of this here if you don't actually want the name of the article or the site in the article. You can edit that. You can also edit here. I think for agents who haven't seen this before, you can make any edits to what the AI wrote up automatically. You can.
I like this, man.
Translate into Spanish if you're an agent that primarily is dealing with a different a population that's operating in a different language. You can change that to really whatever language you want. You can replace this image in here with your own images. So I think the needle that we're trying to thread here, Tristan, is make it as powerful as possible so that people can have as many different types of posts and different looks and feels, but like also have a lot of control. Same thing goes with like any market updates that are created for them. Let me just give you an example.
I like that. Dude, that is the colors are beautiful.
Yeah, and I think like, Yeah, and you can, by the way, for agents who sign up for this, you can set, if you've invested the time and effort into creating a really high quality brand and you've got specific font libraries that you want us to leverage, or you've got specific, brand guidelines, we'll take those in as part of the design process at the beginning, and we'll try and make sure that your social media is as much of a reflection of the brand that you've already built as possible. And you can see here, like, this is, a market report for an agent in the Scottsdale area, and it's pulling in an image of Scottsdale behind it. So I think, again, what are we trying to do here today? We're trying to help agents drive meaningful business from social media. And part of the way that you do that is, in this case, this market data is another signal of authoritativeness. If we keep tying it back to the beginning, this content is not just like random stuff that we're shooting off into the void just to like tick a box. This is meant to demonstrate that the agent, in this case, an agent in Scottsdale, is really knowledgeable about what's happening in her market. These market reports are created by Rejig for the agent automatically. We have a national partnership with a company that basically ingests data from all of the MLSs nationwide. So this is just content that will be created for the agent automatically every month.
That's awesome.
And they can choose down to the neighborhood level. So if you want to get down to like, the North Shore of Chicago, you can. Steve, the pricing, there's $100 a month version and there's $150 a month version of this. If you go to Rejig.ai, we've got a pricing tab right in the top right-hand corner. We're doing a nice discount for our friends at Lab Code Agents, where we're doing a heavy discount on the setup fee. So hopefully that answers your question. But Tristan, what did I miss in terms of, I know we only have 2 minutes left here.
I think the other piece to this, well, first, we have Andrea here, so I'm going to put up her, if you want to take a look at her Instagram. I wanted to also share the AI likeness, because I think that matters long-term, because you guys are just going to get better and better at it.
Yeah.
And for those of you who want to take a look at Andrea's Instagram, who's currently using it, I just put her link up there to Instagram. But when it comes to, let me pop up Matt's. I always love using Matt's.
Yeah, absolutely.
He mixes it up. Sometimes he's using his own stuff that he creates, because he's got a team. And sometimes he's using AI to do it. And so he's out of the North Boston area. And this is what it looks like for the AI images and the voice that it copies. So you could take a look. He posts a lot, right? You just scroll through. He does it very routinely. And here's one, right? And it grabbed information that's local, new era ahead at Phillips Academy. And he got 43,000 views, 293 likes, and 23 comments. I was one of them. But where are you getting your information? I don't think they have a new head yet. Look at that. He was ahead of that. I remember that comment. Any idea what's going on in the old Bertucci's? Like, look at the information of people locally interested in this stuff. Like, right?
It's such a key point, because this gentleman, I forget, I think Matt has an education background, like maybe he worked
he's a
as
teacher.
Okay. So what did Matt do? He took this thing that he knew about, like his content is talking about like school openings and like local athletes from the high school nearby, or I think there's a post in here that got 100,000 views that's talking about like a new campus building at Merrimack College, all hyper local. So for the people on this call, like, it doesn't have to be like a fancy new pop-up page. It can literally be like, hey, the local high school team just went to states and like won. Like, it can be like, just remember, like, you're an active member in these communities. So I think a good filter is like, what stuff do you care about as a member of this community? And like, Rejig can help you find and post that stuff automatically.
What's important to your community, and what gives them that emotional tie to it? This is why when you showed the bagel, so what's new in my neighborhood? I want to know, because I want to go visit it. I want to share it. What's happening? like anything important that I need to be paying attention to, right? And what's affecting me living here directly.
Yep.
So that's why you guys do such a great job, dude, and you automate it so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's the part too. And I think
That's the best part.
yeah, automated. And I think you were picking up on the branding. I think the other part that we really that we take a lot of pride in is we want each of the agents who we work with to look distinct and unique. It doesn't mean that everything has to be like reinventing the wheel, but like we do want your content to have a visual, like have a consistent look and feel, but for it to be yours. So
I like it. I like it, man. Thank you so much.
As always, we appreciate everybody's time, especially all the people watching in today.
Scan that QR code. It'll take you to a Calendly link. I'm just going to test it out. I know we just replaced it. So, yep, takes me to a Calendly link. You can book some time with Matt so that you can better understand what this is. And then hopefully you sign up. Obviously, Andrea's part of it. Matt's part of it. We're part of it. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you, buddy.
Likewise, we appreciate everybody. Thanks, Tristan.
Thanks. Have an awesome week.